So after 5 minutes of reviewing, go ahead and go over your scores and how you scored yourself, and then I'll go over it in detail. Okay?
So
I'm gonna take it back too. So we start with the first section investment, right?
so visually tracking student achievement.
Mhm.
On the board, my other board, I started writing down exit ticket mastery. But I think I can do a better job of like updating that every single day, and making sure I'm doing it every single day. So I give myself a 2 on that one.
Okay.
Student to student tracking, 50% of students track their peers. I give myself a 1 on that. I think I need to do a better job of stopping and making sure 100% of the scholars are tracking their peers. Student to teacher tracking, I also gave myself a 1. Yeah, I don't think I have completely 85% of students tracking during instruction. Most students appear to be joyful and energized for the content. I give myself a 2. You know, most students probably won't like every single subject, but I think I've seen some joy in the classroom, especially during labs or activities. Work, at least 90% of students are completing all assigned work. I said 2. Because there are a good chunk of students who aren't turning in homework. Yeah. Independent focus, 95% are silent and focused. I said 1. And sometimes I have classes where it's like the majority of the class, and it might be 1 or 2 students, but I don't think it's 95%.
Okay.
90% of scholars can answer when cold called. I think some of this ties into the, are you focused during class, so that you know what I'm asking. I gave myself a 1 for that. Professional posture, sitting up straight and actively listening. I think the majority are, but I don't think 90% of students are. Intellectual prep. I don't think I don't read from my lesson plan really, so I think I'm pretty prepared for class. Heads up. I gave myself a 1. I don't have 100% of students heads up.
Oh, excuse me.
And I didn't know if like this included like after corrections too or before. So
That's before.
yeah.
Before corrections.
Yeah. Response to redirection. Usually the responses are not respectful, so I said 1. In seats, I gave myself a 1. Constantly have people up out of their seats. Yeah. Referral worthy behavior. Gave myself a 2. Yeah, I think I do pretty well at knowing when to write the referrals. Uniform, I said 2. The only problem is some kids will want to have on hoodies that aren't KIP. I have to remind them to take those off. And then scholars' names, I give myself 3.
And so your average percent at the top is a 23%. Okay? So calculate your averages from your score. Got your phone? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. .5%. And so with each section, just to give you a little overview. So the school review team, they come in, multiple people come in. Did multiple people come into your classroom or
I
just
have
one?
1% come in.
Okay.
Just the very beginning.
Okay. So one person coming in a short period of time or extended period of time, they'll be in your classroom and this is what they're scoring.
Mm-hmm.
If it's an NA, meaning they wasn't able to observe it or did not see it, if it's a 0, meaning if it was not seen in the class for NA, meaning they didn't observe it, it wasn't a part of the lesson. A 0 meaning that they did not see it at all, or it was less than, I want to say 50% of the mastery in the class.
Mm-hmm.
A 2 is like they saw it, but it wasn't proficient, and 3 is proficient. Okay, now I'm going to show you your school review score and the scores they gave you for each area. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to look over it and compare your scores to their scores, okay? So go ahead. Got about 30 seconds left. Do you need more time? Whenever you're ready, you ready? So what is your reflections?
Definitely did worse than I obviously thought I did.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and elaborate a little bit more. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, so
Mhm.
2 people came in like during the do now, and that's it. So I don't know
Mm-hmm.
how they were able to score me on some of these, but
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good information to know. And they only were in there during the do now.
yeah.
Okay. And so some of these things you can see, right? And so specifically, if we look at investment systems in the classroom, that's just something that's observable, right? Well, you can physically see it on the wall, right? Not even if you're doing your investment of mastery from the exit ticket before. And then for the other one, they definitely could have saw the independent focus, like the do now is silent and solo. Professional posture if they were sitting up in their seats, even if they were standing, it just should have been professional, like not leaning but straight up. The heads up they could have saw within the 5 minutes. The students in their seats and refer worthy behavior, uniform, scholars' names. And so the other thing that they could have saw within 5 minutes, the response to redirection, if you had to redirect students and you said most of the time they're not. And so think about in this 5 minutes, like a 5-minute chunk of time observing, you'll see a lot of things, right? And if it was 2 people, they may have split this and say, hey, I'm going to do like row E, no, what is it, 15 rows, so 10 to 1 and then, or 10 to 15, however they split it up, or I'm going to work on the things that I can see in the classroom versus things that I can see and hear that is observable. And so school reviews it's tough, right? But it gives us a reality check of what is seen and heard inside of our classrooms and inside of our school. And so our school average I put here is at 50%. And then also too, we have a lot of growth in a lot of areas as an entire school, and then also too as individuals, okay? So what do you think immediately is a quick fix on this item where if I came and observed your classroom tomorrow, it will be a 3?
I guess making the investment more visible.
Mm-hmm. So, and it was so making sure it's updated. So if your exit ticket mastery is tracked daily, meaning you can see Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays exit tickets, right? And you can show for your exit ticket mastery, you can show the top 5 kids with mastery, or the top students who got the 100% mastery. You can show your 90% mastery and your 80% mastery scholars, right? And then you can do the average for each class, okay? So that's a quick investment, like with exit tickets, because once you get your students in a space where they're silently working and you're aggressively monitoring the classroom and you have that space, you can begin to almost multitask where you're grading exit tickets and you're doing AGMO, right? And then what's another quick fix that you think can happen on that list?
Maybe joy aspect.
Exactly what I was thinking. So when you think about your joy, and this is something that I've given you in the feedback, at some point at the beginning of the lesson, do you say, hey, we want to shout out these 3 scholars for mastering their exit tickets. Let's give them one big clap on the count of 3.
I've been doing that lately, but need to be doing it more consistently.
Yes, so it has to be consistent. And that's just a quick hit, right? So the 2 quick hits is the investment, which is you updating your board at the end of the day with your exit ticket mastery with the scholars with 100 to 80% mastery, right? Because we want 80% or higher. And then the average of your classes, because then you get them invested like, hey, 3rd period is killing it. So if 3rd period is killing it, hey, 2nd period and 1st period, 2nd and 5th period, what you gonna do, right? We gotta make sure we are beating them, right? You creating a healthy competition between the classes, and numbers move students, right? When they see those numbers, like, oh, even with our parents, when they see the GPAs and the grades, they're like, oh my goodness, like we're really proud, or it's like we go into solution mode, like what do we do and how can we fix it, okay? And just like with my kids, so in my bio room, I had a really big bio room, I was blessed. I had windows all through my class, and my first 3 windows had my classes, and it would have the mastery that they got on the interims, exit tickets, and like assessments. So also too, if they took assessments, I will post their assessments on my door. It would be like their ID number with their percentage, and they would check it, and I will highlight those who mastered in green and those who needed improvement in orange, and then others were in red. And that was just posted each period outside of my door, and the kids are like, oh my God, I gotta go check my scores. And it would be before school, after school, and during lunch, because I had my preps, and each class knew when their scores would be posted. So those are 2 really quick things that we can kind of get. And so even like that J factor, like if you have a mastery ticket and students did not master it, hey, I want to just shout out a student absolute determination. This student annotated their mastery, their exit ticket. They wrote out explanations and even questions on their assessment, so I want to shout them out for absolute determination and excellence, because they're trying to learn more and grow faster. It's simple. It's really quick. That's like a minute spiel, and then you moving on. And you saying track me. So the whole school initiative is track me, as we did in our PD yesterday. And then we have our huddle this afternoon. So you will be in the huddle this afternoon. And then of course we are working on the track me. Okay? Questions you have?
When observing like the classroom entry, what should I do differently, because we're still not getting in before the bell rings?
Got to do it with urgency, okay? So you're at that door, it's propped, and while you're at the door and it's propped, it's like we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're having a seat, you're positively narrating, and then you're getting them in as quick as possible, okay? Do you have your clipboard with you at the door? Okay, so are you tracking who's coming in and out on your clipboard? Also, too, you can track your demerits, okay? Track your demerits and track who's there, so when you get ready to take attendance, it's quick, okay? And so, go ahead.
Did you have feedback on the seating chart?
So with the seating chart, I was looking at the seating chart, and I literally went through it, and I tore it up because I was like, no, we gotta fix it. So I'm gonna work on that today, okay? But for the exit ticket, for the entry, let me see if someone is in this